Right, so I like to say Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash, double unto the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work and truth and sincerity. So, let me grab this real quick. This is the book of John chapter 14, verse 15. And the scripture says, if you love me, keep my commandments. Now, this is something that have to be stressed out, consistently. If you love me, keep my commandments, because people don't understand what love means. For an example, Christians, Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, all these different religions do not understand what it means to actually love. Especially women, man, because women throw that word around like crazy. And I said this in one of my other videos. You had a woman or some girl was with this dude and find out that the dude wasn't even her, according to the scriptures, if she's, doing anything sexually with him or kissing him or whatever, that's her husband. Well, to find out she wasn't even with her husband, she was committing adultery on her husband. And when they caught her, they asked her a question. They said, why are you messing around with this dude but still with him? And she said, because I love him. So like I say, these women, they throw around that word a lot, man. And that word, little do they know, is highly important, man. It's a word that shouldn't just be thrown around. And not only that, but to understand what love actually means is to show action, man. Your actions have to be shown in order to show that you love somebody, right? Because you can have women throwing around the word love all the time, but at the same time, if you look on the news, you got women killing their own kids. But guess what? They'll tell them they love them before they kill them. Just like the one girl, I believe it was like a couple years back, where she said she loved her child, but she wanted to go party, and she put her own damn daughter in the trunk after killing her. And her boyfriend found out because he smelled a stench in the trunk, and he called the police, and they discovered that the little girl body was in the trunk. At first they thought it was in the trash can, but it wasn't. It was in the trunk. And you got other women that's doing the same thing. Now, the reason why I'm not really talking about men throwing that word around, because a lot of times, let's be honest, when a man do throw that word around, he don't actually mean it, man. When he tell a woman that he loves her, especially after first meeting her, he don't really mean it. And not only that, he really don't know what love is either. But women throw that word around occasionally, man. It's a consistent and continual thing with women. And they really lack the understanding what love is. And like the Lord said, if you love me, keep my commandments, right? The scriptures tell you to love one another. And to show that love towards one another is by keeping the commandments. It's by going through, right, the 5 books of Moses. And it's also mentioned in the New Testament, the laws, the statutes, and commandments. You go through, you read through it, and then you keep what the Lord tell you to keep. Now, we know for a fact that there's laws that we can't keep. Like, for an example, there's laws that tells you to put somebody who's committing a sexual act with the same gender to death. You can't do that, because you'll go to jail here in this society. Another commandment you can't keep is when we made sacrifices. And sacrifices wasn't always made to have sins forgiven, but also done, right, for other reasons, for gifts and things like that. And you can't do that, because they would turn around and call it animal cruelty, man, right? Even though they have farms where they doing nothing but animal cruelty, they'll lock you up for animal cruelty. So, and if you do research it and you get deeper into that, there's more information on why they will lock you up for doing such things. But there's laws that we know as of right now we can't keep, and laws that we can keep, right? But these people don't keep any laws, man. They don't keep any of the laws. If you go through this book and you read laws, like for an example, you go into Exodus, the 20th chapter, right? Well, let's get that real quick. Let's get Exodus, the 20th chapter, right? So if you go into Exodus 20, right? Exodus 20 and 1, it says, and God spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Well, first of all, they don't even call the Most High, the Father, by his name, Yahweh. Yahweh means, in the Hebrew, he is, he exists. They call him Jehovah. They call him, I believe, Ahia, all sorts of names, man. And, they name him God, shit. I mean, God is a title, man. I am Yahweh thy power, which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no gods before me. Well, people do that all the time. Look at a lot of the gang members. And I'm talking about that's of our people, the so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They worship the goddess of death, or the sun god, or the moon god, right? Or Jesus Christ, which is a golden retriever looking Edomite, right? They worship all sorts of God. They worship, if you go some shit, even a lot of these so-called Mexicans, when you go to their houses, they have idols of who they call Jesus Christ, Saint Paul, Saint Peter, Saint Mark, Saint Mary, all that madness, and they'll have a whole altar. And the scriptures tell you to worship no other God but the Most High. And what do? You worship all these idols, man. You worship all these idols. You pray unto all these idols. There's no scripture where it says pray unto these idols and the message will be received of the Father. There's no Salakia. There's no book, chapter, and verse that says that, man. So verse 4, it says, Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. So the Lord said, don't worship any of that, man. You got people worshiping moons and suns and fishes. Like, hey man, look at all the religions in the world, man. People are worshiping all sorts of shit. And when I talk about people, I'm ultimately talking about you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. I don't give a damn about what the other nations are worshiping. But our people worship all sorts of madness, man. Worship that damn cross. They'll print prayer hands. They'll literally print or tattoo prayer hands on them, man. Like, why? Why are you tattooing prayer hands on your body, man? As if you tattooing the prayer hands on your body to say you're praying all the time. Like, you ain't praying all the time. A lot of you, let's be real. A lot of you niggas with prayer hands ain't never praying. Ain't never praying. And then the crazy thing is, a lot of niggas with prayer hands are cigarette smokers, weed smokers. They be having committing adultery, worshiping other idols. Like, a lot of these cats with prayer hands be worshiping all type of madness, man. Be worshiping all type of madness. And let's put this out there, right? A lot of you believe in Jesus Christ, right? A lot of you believe in Jesus Christ. Well, Christians tell you that Jesus Christ walked perfectly, right? But Christians tell you that there's no way that they can walk perfectly. So they say, I will walk in the ways of Christ, but I can't walk in all his ways. That's pretty much what you're saying. So a lot of these tattoo wearing idiots that sit up here talking about they follow after Christ, in actuality, you don't, man. Because you don't in any other way believe that you can walk in righteousness, man. Right? Now, I'm just using that devil as an example of what you people say that he is, but you don't do. Simple as that, man. Oh, we ain't perfect. So to say that we ain't perfect means that we don't keep the law? I mean, that's just stupid as hell to me, man. That don't make any sense. We ain't perfect, so I'm gonna break the law purposely, man. I'm gonna break the law purposely because we ain't perfect. But that's what Christians allude to. That's what these different religions allude to. Is that since we can't keep the law perfectly, why keep it at all, man? That's how you know that the true love isn't in them, man. These people don't truly love. That's why I tell brothers, man, don't hang out with people in the world, man. Don't hang out with people in the world because they do not know what love truly is. You bring a nigga into your house and all of a sudden he's stealing this shit from you because they don't know what love is. Or he's conspiring against you to mess around with your wife because these dudes don't fear the Lord, nor do they walk in righteousness, nor do they know what it means to love. They don't know, man. I'm going to end it from there and say Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. Citations to you brothers out there that's doing this work. In truth and sincerity, I like to say Shalom.